This is the Gadget Man, episode 170, where we'll be talking about the CAT S62 Pro mobile phone with thermal imaging, the Freeview Aura 4K digital TV recorder, and also the problems that Ring owners have been experiencing over the last few days. So over to James.
Thursday, it's Gadget News. Matt Porter of Matt Porter Web Design back on the show with us. Hello, Matthew.
Good morning.
Great to speak to you. First of all, this came out yesterday, the Ring doorbells. Problems with them catching fire in certain occasions.
Yes, I think that there were at least 23 Ring doorbells that caught fire, but this was after they were installed incorrectly. However, Ring have done a recall anyone on them, so I think 8 people suffered minor burns, but it was basically, I think, because they were installed using the wrong screw, I believe. So yes, it was apparently caused by improper installation. However, I believe Ring have recalled the ones that were affected,
and they've issued some sort of advice that too long a screw piercing the battery pack, I understand, which as we know, that can cause a fire in certain batteries.
That's a bit of a problem.
Exactly.
The rule of thumb is never pierce a battery with anything.
Absolutely. Okay, well, if you've got one, I think there is a site you can go to get further advice if indeed you have just stuffed any old screw in the back there. Let's get on to what you've been looking at this week, and I was intrigued by this, the CAT S62 phone with a thermal camera built into it, Matt.
Yes, I was really excited to review this because I've never played with a thermal camera. I've had some involvement with them when I was flying drones because they're used extensively for surveying and things like that, but not on a mobile phone. And this particular phone is the sort of third generation, so they have had thermal cameras installed on these phones in the past, but this particular one has a much higher resolution, much higher quality FLIR sensor on it, which is an infrared, but it's it's thermal. What would you use such a camera for? I hear you say, well, this is CAT, which are the the Caterpillar industrial machinery company. Well, these are aimed at the workplace. They're highly ruggedized, which means that they are drop proof up to 1.8 meters, and they also have IP68 and IP69 ingress protection on them and a military specification. They're just very tough phones. They have additional protection on the front screen to avoid the screens shattering, and they're quite heavy and a little bit thicker than we're used to, but pretty loaded with technology. The thermal camera is very interesting. Sorry, I spent a lot of time trying to work out what I could test it on, but what it's aimed at.
Interesting you should mention that, because I've got one of those FLIR things that you can plug into the iPad, and I think it's not quite as good a resolution of what you're talking about. But like you, people say, well, what are you going to use that for then? I don't know, it's just a gadget, isn't it? I like gadgets. But actually, there are many things. You can look for cool bits around doors to see if there's drafts coming in. You can try, and this is how I really found it useful when I had a central heating issue. You can see where it's not flowing through the pipe properly and stuff like that. It does have uses.
Correct. Underfloor heating, you can basically point it at the floor and it will show you hot and cold spots on the floor. Radiators, it will show you if they're not fully filled. Pipe work, water leaks in particular, because when you get a water leak, you tend to get cold spots. They're used by the water authorities to check for leaks in the countryside where they have a water pipe going across the country. So they're really very useful indeed. Really interesting. I took it to a local nature reserve and spent quite a bit of time trying to see if I could find any wildlife hiding in the bushes. All I found was my son sitting on a bench having a bag of crisps. wasps.
Right. Well, yeah, but it would work. It would find birds in trees, wouldn't it, if you're close enough?
Yes, it would, yeah. You have to be quite close, I think, because of the idea of this. This is not really for nature spotting miles away. It's more of a close-up kind of technology because it's aimed at tradespeople and stuff like that. But certainly, it was very interesting to do things like fill a bath with water for the kids, and you point it at the bath, and it will tell you how hot the water is. Yeah, and
mine was very useful at finding the cat in the back garden in the dark.
Well, that would be very good. There was some it's really interesting, and not only does it have that functionality on it, it is actually a mobile phone, and it has a lot of applications on there aimed at, again, industry and trades and stuff like that. So there's some good stuff on there, really. It's a pretty impressive handset.
That is interesting. So it's a combination of traditional mobile phone and a proper work tool designed for those in an industrial environment as well.
They actually promote that if you're using it in a work environment and it may be shared, that the fact that you can wash it under the tap with soap and water to clean it between uses, which is really good in this current climate. So it's quite happy you're doing that, because it has little things sealing different holes on it so that you're not going to obviously soak it and ruin it. It's well protected. It was good.
How expensive is it when it comes on the market, Matt?
It's not drastically expensive. When I say not drastically expensive, it's £599, but these are the kind of gadget that you would buy on a contract anyway. So it's significantly cheaper than the high-end handsets we're used to, but it's, like I said, it's aimed at business use. And
well, you can pay
£200
for the little bolt-on infrared camera for the iPad.
Correct, so, yeah, it's good. Yeah, it's got a Lepton. The actual camera, the sensor is called a FLIR Lepton 3.5 sensor or something.
Do you know what FLIR stands for?
Front something infrared.
Forward-looking infrared.
Forward-looking infrared. Sorry. Oh my goodness.
They've got the same thing up at the police. Helicopter uses the same thing, evidently. Although significantly more expensive version. From that to the 4K on Freeview. Now, obviously, that's been a long time coming. Yeah, so I received the Humax Aura, which is their latest Freeview 4K recorder and tuner. And really, really impressed with this. Look, at the end of the day, I'm going to be impressed with lots of things when they're handed to me, and I haven't got to pay for them. I have to give them back generally. But it really is very good. This particular device is powered by Android TV, so it's an official Google product, which means that not only does it allow you to tune into the current channel listings, but also it comes with Google Play Store on it, so you can download Android TV apps, of which there are 5,000 of them currently. You can imagine some of them are just games and stuff like that, but obviously there's a whole slew of on-demand providers that work with it. It also supports 4K HDR ultra high definition, which really good. You can tell the difference. I've got a couple of HD TV tuners, and there was a noticeable difference in the quality of the picture. It seemed much more vibrant. It also has Google Assistant with it, which means you can press a button on it and talk to it, a bit like with Amazon Alexa. It's Google's version, but that means you can also control your home if you have compatible products using it as an integration. It has a hard disk on it. You can pause, rewind, and live TV. You can actually, and I tried it, you can actually record 4 programs at a time. Oh, wow.
Why you'd want to. Because I looked at it, I think,
if you can find 4 programs you want to watch.
Exactly. 4 episodes of Top of the Pops. But it was interesting that a lot of it is on demand, you see, so you can record these programs, but in fact a lot of it's on demand. It also supports Chromecast, so if it hasn't got a compatible app on the actual box itself, you can cast from your phone and play. I watched Now TV isn't currently supported. It's due in the next few days. I was able to still watch a film on Now TV by casting it. It was excellent. It's really, really, it's wireless, so you can connect to your wireless network, or you can plug it directly into it using the cable. And it also has a digital SPIF output, so you can plug it into your Dolby system, and also it has Bluetooth, so you can connect to Bluetooth.
There you go. You got the lot there.
It's really good, really packed with technology.
Humax Aura Freeview 4K TV box. How much is that going to sell at, Matt?
Up to about £250, depending on the model.
Right,
£279, sorry, for the 2 terabit model, or £249 for the 1 terabit, which gives you about 500 hours of recordings.
Couple of gadgets to be having to think about, courtesy of Matt Porter of Matt Porter Web Design, our gadget guru. Matt, have a great week. Thank you, my friend.
Thanks to James Hazell from BBC Radio Suffolk. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share and comment. We'll see you next time.